So anyway, joining me to discuss that is independent mayoral, Greater Manchester mayoral candidate Nick Buckley. Nick, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Now, thank you very much for making the journey. Now, I know you're going for the mayoralship in Greater Manchester, but I wanted to ask you your thoughts on this, because you yourself got in trouble for some comments that you made when you were with your charity, the Mancunian Way, in 2020, with regard to Black Lives Matter. Just give us a recap on what happened.
So, in a nutshell, I went on to Black Lives Matter website, read what they were about, didn't like it, wrote a blog and was called a Nazi and a racist, just by highlighting what they'd put on their own website. And that's what's happened in this case. I'm not saying what Lee Anderson said was right or wrong, I don't know, but he's an elected MP. He should have the right to say what he thinks. It's down to his constituencies to vote him out if they think he's wrong. But what we do in this country now is we use words that end in ist or phobe to shut people up because we don't want them speaking. We don't attack the argument. We don't prove they're wrong. We shut them up by using words that end in ist and phobe.
But he said that the Islamists had got control of London, but then he did later explain that what he meant was that they've got control of Sadiq Khan. So he was kind of referring to the fact that, you know, there'd been all these pro-Palestinian protests. Do you think that, as you said, that people attack the words and not the actual argument, that he's actually making a point that a lot of people are thinking?
Absolutely. You look on, I mean, I don't come to London that often, but you look on TV every Saturday for London and you're thinking, what is going on in London? Now, he then said that, you know, the Islamist friends are friends of Sadiq Khan. I don't know if that's true or not. He may have evidence, he may not have evidence. But you can make that jump sometimes when he's allowing these protests every Saturday that are intimidating. And we know they're intimidating. You try going to a protest in London on Saturday with a Union Jack flag, the flag of this country. You stand there with that flag, you're more likely to be arrested because the police are scared that's going to cause a riot. How can the flag of the country cause a riot?
Well, we've had quite a few issues, because we had that girl, Harmony London. She was singing Christian songs and she was told that she can't do that because she has to be outside a church. It does feel, like that certain elements, especially the Christianity, like there was a preacher who was singing outside near a tube station and the police were they started to arrest him for something. And it was like, what is going on in this London? So people are conflating, maybe wrongly, this because nothing's happening. What do you think Sadiq Khan should be doing? You're heading to try and become a mayor. If it were you and this was your thing, what would you be doing?
So we all appreciate the right to peacefully demonstrate on any issue you want to demonstrate. It's not supposed to tell you the issues you can and can't demonstrate on. But when you're demonstrating in a city, we need to make sure that other people can go about their business, that you're not blocking traffic and ruining other people's businesses. That's where just the oil keep going wrong. It's not, they are peaceful, but they're killing businesses, they're keeping people stuck in traffic. So we need to make sure other people can go about their lawful duty. Now, in London, we're also seeing a small minority of people who are anti-Semitic, who are saying the most awful things. We're seeing those clips online. Now, we looked at the projector on Big Ben, so let's have a look at that. The police should have shut that down straight away.
You see, that's the thing. Why didn't Sadiq Khan? Because he's seen it on there. He would have known that this is a real issue.
Cowardice.
But has he got the power to do that, though?
Yes, but what he doesn't want and what the chief of police doesn't want is for those people then to turn violent, because that'll be the headline in the papers or the news channels the next day. It will be like, your actions caused a riot. Well, sometimes we have to risk issues like that to make sure we control the streets. At the moment, we don't control the streets in this country. We've handed them over to criminals and to radicals and to protesters. We need to reclaim those streets back.
Is that the same in Manchester, where you are? Are you getting the level of pro-Palestinian protests week in, week out?
Every Saturday, but on a much smaller scale than you're getting here. The first couple of weeks, they were a problem. They're not much of a problem now because you're looking somewhere between 50 and 100 people, the last few I've seen. So they're managed a lot better. The problem here in London is just a different level altogether.
So what advice would you give to Sadiq Khan if you were in his shoes?
He's a career politician, so there's no advice I could give him. All he cares about is being elected again. And we don't have politicians who are willing to sacrifice their careers to improve the country.
Well, do you think that that's what Lee Anderson has done?
I'm really pleased that Lee Anderson didn't apologise, because that would have ruined him in many people's eyes. But what he has done is he's taken the easy road by supporting his party because he knows he's going to get back.
Well, listen, Nick Buckley, thank you so much. This is GB News. Loads more still to come. Don't go anywhere. Well, listen, let's bring on Nick Buckley, who is joining me now. Nick Buckley, what do you think about that? That was Reem. Her thoughts were that we need to sort of understand or maybe put the parameters out for freedom of speech, because it seems that some things people jump on and literally will call you an Islamophobe or whatever it is to sort of silence you.
See, everybody wants freedom of speech and freedom of expression until they hear something they don't like. So at the moment, we want freedom of speech, but apart from Lee Anderson, he's not allowed to say the words he wants to use. He can't express his thoughts, his feelings, his ideas using the words he wants to use. We clamp down on him now for that. This is almost the stage of Soviet Russia, Soviet Union. And your guest just said then political correctness. That's what that is. That you can't say those things because they're not politically correct. They may be right, but you can't say it.
Nick Buckley, she said she's right. Freedom of speech, but we have to be able to hear things that we don't want to hear as well.
That's what freedom of speech is. Freedom of speech isn't allowing people to talk that you agree with. It's allowing people to talk that you vehemently disagree with.
But it's freedom of speech within a democracy, and that democracy determines the parameters with which your freedom exists. It's not like an authoritarian or totalitarian state where you don't have any autocracy and somebody will just tell you what's going on. Freedom of speech is within a democracy, and I think that's where people often misunderstand or deliberately misread it. So people on these pro-Palestinian protests will be shouting things from the river to the sea, but within our democracy, we say that that sort of thing is not acceptable if you're being anti-Semitic or you know, Islamophobic or whatever that thing is. So it's freedom of speech, but there are parameters always.
There's parameters. There's different types of parameters. So first of all, you've got the law. So you say something that's against the law, you risk being arrested. Other parameters will be social norms. So that is, you legally can say those things, but if you say those things, I may look down upon you for saying those things. And that might be the risk Lee Anderson would take by using the phrases he used. He didn't break the law, but some people may say, I think slightly less of you now. Other people may go, I think slightly more of you now for saying those things and being controversial and sticking up for whoever you thought you were sticking up for. So there's different parameters on every single time we speak, and we make those judgments ourselves.
Now, I was talking earlier, and I mean, Andy was saying that Sadiq Khan actually doesn't have almost in a sense, he shouldn't be interfering in things where the police are involved. Would you agree with that?
No, he has the power over the police. The mayors are also the police crime commissioner. What the mayors can't do is get involved in day-to-day policing or phone up the chief of police and go, right now on TV, this is happening, I want you to do those things. They can't do that. The mayor writes strategies and policies. So if the mayor writes a strategy to give to the chief constable saying, this is how you handle, this is what I want to see on demonstrations, that's the directive to the chief constable. And if the chief constable doesn't do what the mayor says, the mayor can sack the chief constable.
Exactly.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.